Welcome back to Sky Scottish Boxing Night. Let's get straight back into the action. Next up, Donnie Hood.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest is a bantamweight contest, 6 3-minute rounds. Introducing in the red corner, wearing the burgundy trunks with the yellow trim from Dadeur, and scaling 8 stone 9 pound, Shaun Anderson. And his opponent across the ring in the blue corner, wearing the tartan trunks from Glasgow, the former WBC international bantamweight champion, scaling 8 stone 6 pounds, Donnie Hood. Your referee in this contest is Mr. Al Hutchins, and this is 6 3-minute rounds.
First round, a return contest this. Shaun Anderson in the claret and yellow, Donnie Hood, former WBC international champion, in the tartan. Last time they met, Anderson won an 8-round points decision and had Hood on the floor 3 times in the process. Al Hutchin, the referee for this contest, and you will have noticed instantly that Anderson, the southpaw, right hand, right foot forward. He's sort of retired and unretired as Donnie Hood, shaken there with the right.
Yeah, Donnie Hood, he's come back. I think he's been in the ring for 2 years, 3 years,
something like that.
He's come back, and this is like a tough fight for him because it's like, again, the 2 local boys. Shaun Anderson, I think he's been away for a while as well. He's coming back, and they've both got to sort of get back on the winning trail.
Now, 33 years of age is Donnie Hood, and that's old for a bantam, young for a heavyweight, old for a bantamweight.
Is it not just old? Doesn't they get to me, I'm 30 and they're telling me I'm old.
Well, you are. Heaven knows what that makes me, but we'll let that pass.
Anders again, the southpaw, but the 2 boys, they probably sparred together quite a lot because I think they're both from the same stable. So it makes for an interesting fight as well.
Oh, it's a good short chopping right from Anderson. Hood took it well. He didn't want to take too many.
Yeah, one thing about Anderson, he's a good solid performer. Maybe lacks a wee bit in class, but he's always there or thereabouts. Solid.
And Hood hasn't really found the range yet, to put it kindly. Well, Hood giving it what is reported to be one last try in the pro ranks. But brave man to do that. The wrong side of 30.
Here we go here, Anderson. I mean, they're fairly quiet round. They've both been looking at each other. There's not really been a lot of that. That was a cracking wee right hand uppercut they're throwing. Hood took it well and came back with his own jab. But I dare say Hood will have got himself into some in terrific condition for this. He's coming back. If he's going to give it one last go at the boxing game, he'll have had to look after himself. Get back in the gym, back training, back on the roads, and he'll be in good shape.
Well, the contrast in physical appearance between these two couldn't be greater. Anderson, the boy in the claret trunks, young, fresh-faced. Hood, in contrast, looks almost gaunt in comparison.
Yeah, they both actually look like two different ways, don't they?
They do.
Anderson very thick set. If you look at Hood, he's very muscular.
And you can see that if you just look at the general body tone of the two, Hood beginning to lose some of that sheen of youth that Anderson's got.
You seem to be picking the old people today, Dave.
Yeah, I've got a down on wrinkles today.
Leave the old people out of it. Fighters are like wine, they get better as they get older.
Well, some of them do. What about you? What are you doing?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would like to know, so would everybody listening.
There's a bit more action going on in here.
Yeah, Hood finding the rhythm a little bit more than he did in the opening round.
Anderson again, the southpaw, coming in, throwing the right hand to the body and then trying to come over with the left hook to the head.
I don't think I've ever seen quite as many southpaws on one bill as I've seen on this particular one.
They're all Scottish.
I think they are. They don't let them south of the border, they keep them there. No southpaws in England. Anderson really just looks stronger than Hood at the moment.
Yeah, he's just a bit more settled on his feet. He's sort of dipping a bit more. He's a bit more settled. Hood's a wee bit moving about a bit more, bouncing a bit more on his feet. Seems to be getting caught with the punches, the hooks as he's moving around, which tend to look harder than they actually are because he's bouncing about on his toes. Hood really needs to step up the pace here and start moving in with his jab, 3s and 4s, and throwing a couple of right-handers. Big swinging left hook from Anderson. And again, Hood seems to be landing short with his jab. He's just standing his ground and throwing his jab out. He has to move in there, he has to get in distance and start throwing a bit more punches.
It's almost sort of feeling with the jab, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not in distance, he seems to be out of distance and he's just pawing with it. You know, he has to move forward, and fighters have to move forward with the jab and take a step forward as they're jabbing.
Second out, round 3.
Third round then of this bantamweight contest, slated for 6. Shaun Anderson in the maroon and Donnie Hood in the tartan. Anderson got his nose in front at the moment. It's a little wee way to go. Anderson quite successfully, as he demonstrated just then, just keeping Hood off balance, not allowing him to settle.
Yeah, he keeps throwing the wee left hand out, leading with the left hand, which is always a hard one for the orthodox fighter to defend against. Yeah, good swing of left hand there from Anderson. Hood just seems to be out of distance.
Well, whatever he's trying to do, at the moment, Anderson's got the answer to.
Yeah, he just seems to be out of distance at the moment. To get his jab going, stepping in with 2s and 3s, he's looking for single shots, big right hands.
I get the idea it's all been one-way traffic because Anderson starting to look maybe just a little puffy around both eyes.
Yeah, Hood's landing some good clean shots, but it's still not enough. They're both, it's fairly even Steven at the moment. Nobody's really taking control.
No.
And it's also very hard for Donnie Hood. He's making a comeback. He was the WBC International Champion, so it's a good feather in Anderson's cap if he can get his scalp and take it and win the fight.
Oh, he's already got one decision over him, which looks good. 2 would look even better if he can manage it inside the last 30.
Final 10 seconds. Seconds out. Round 4.
Fourth round. And I would think that Anderson probably ahead on Al Hutchins' scorecard, doing the more solid work.
He just seems to be landing the cleaner punches here. Or more of them.
Well, Anderson too knows what it's like to fight for titles. Went 11 rounds with Johnny Armour for the Commonwealth title, which is good performance. Last 11 with Armour.
That was a good fight. He took that fight at short notice, I think.
Well, Hood, on occasions, showing tantalising glimpses of maybe the skills he once possessed, but now, well, the kind of thing I can say, maybe a little rusty. He has been out of action for a year.
Yeah, his timing, he seems to be a wee bit short with his timing, whether it's been lack of sparring, he's not been sparring that much in the gym. You can tell, but his timing seems to be he's a wee bit short with his punches. He's not fluent enough, he's not throwing enough, he's not busy enough. You know, it's alright when you're throwing punches and you're missing your shot, but it's okay, you've got to keep throwing into this. I mean, he's the sort of type of fighter that wants to throw punches and land with everyone, and that certainly doesn't happen.
and Anderson doing pretty well, making Hood chase round the ring after him, expending a lot more energy than he himself is expending, picking Hood off as he comes in, generally fighting pretty well.
Yeah, and he's landing some good right hands to the body, left hands to the body as well. There's like a lot of body shots he's landing in there. Good energy sapping punches.
That was good. That was good. He made Hood miss when he came in, countered well with a left of his own.
Yeah, and it landed. That's the left hand to the body, right hook to the head. Tie him up.
And looking over at Hood, we're looking at Anderson here, but looking over at Hood, looking just a little bit dispirited.
Seconds up. 5.
But still, a spring in his step as he comes out for the penultimate round, round 5 of this 6-rounder. And Anderson probably a good couple of rounds in front now. Hood just taps his protector, just indicating that he thinks one of Anderson's shots was a little low.
You know, I think after the last fight he fought this boy, and I think he sort of drifted away.
Yes, he did.
From Anderson, so he should know exactly what he's up against here, and he should have come out firing on all cylinders. And it's been very, very low key from Donnie Hood, trying to pick his way in there. And I don't think it's going to work against this type of fighter, because Anderson's very thick, very stocky, and likes very compact with his boxing.
Well, you know, maybe to get back to the point I was making earlier, joking aside, that the other side of 30 is old for the lighter weights.
Yeah, it starts there.
And you know, maybe the body just can't do what the head wants it to.
Yeah, well, it starts to creep on you, up on you, age. But I mean, I think if you've looked after yourself throughout the years, whether you take some time off, then I don't think there should be a problem. You know, he might have taken a year out and done nothing, and all of a sudden he's got himself ready, fit for a fight like in 6 weeks' time, which then it will tell.
I mean, just off the top of my head, the only guy in the lighter weights that I can think of who really has blossomed since he turned 30 is Jake McLawler, as Paul Weir will testify. I mean, he's extraordinary.
Yeah, he keeps getting better. I mean, at 34, he's incredible. I think it's like, as well as with him living in South Africa, it's like living at altitude. When he comes down to like countries like this, all of a sudden he's coming like down from the moon. All of a sudden there's like more oxygen, and he's like non-stop.
And it is said that instead of 34, 38 might be a little more accurate.
Who knows?
I was talking to somebody who'd faced him as an amateur, and he said it.
In the 40s or something.
Well,
like
you know, he'd have had to have been sort of 12 years old, you know.
Is that when you were 12?
No, we don't talk about that. I'll talk about that if you tell us about your comeback. End of the 5th. And I don't think there can be too many doubts that Anderson is cantering towards what should be a fairly comfortable points win now.
He's labouring here just now at the moment. Anderson seems to have all the answers. He's got his better work rate. He keeps on working. Donnie, just timing just seems to be a little bit off. And I think he has to come out and have a go here. Just stand toe to toe with him.
Well, irrespective of what happens to him in this fight, I hope he maybe gives it one more try, because it, you know, you can come back, have one fight, lose, get dispirited, but he has been out of the ring for a year, and a little bit of the old rust does accumulate. after one fight you might suspect you don't have it anymore. After 2 fights you definitely know. And there might be one or two decent paydays left for him. He's still a name.
Well, you never know. It's a very hard decision to make. It's very hard to walk away from. But he's obviously taking this fight because this is the boy that he lost to last time, like over a year ago.
For sure.
And he's coming back and he wants to fight him and maybe sort of prove a point. Maybe think, well, he maybe got lucky last time or he was unlucky. And he's coming back and he wants to fight this boy again. But it's also styles as well.
Great boys in the same way. Just push him on and on.
A little bit of determination from Hood in this last round.
He came out in the first round and done that. He's winging in the right hooks to the body and the left hooks. Also a very hard fight to come back to, you know, like fighting the side.
Oh, indeed, yeah. Anderson's right eye. Not that it's going to have any effect on this contest. Anderson's right eye just starting maybe to close up a little bit. Going to have a nice shiner there in the morning.
As long as he gets a decision, I don't think he'll be too bothered with that.
Agreed.
It always takes the pain away with the winning feeling.
And bearing in mind Donnie Hood's a butcher, Shaun Anderson can go around and get a piece of steak to put on the eye.
Does that really work?
I don't know, I've never tried it.
Oh, you've never had a black eye?
Oh, I got lucky in my very, very, very brief amateur career. So inside the last 30 of the last round, and as Gary said, it's a shame maybe that Donnie Hood didn't fight like this from the belt. And he's given Anderson one or two things to think about in this final session. But Anderson still keeping his composure. Got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee's scorecard at the end of 6 rounds of boxing. Donnie Hood 58 points, Shaun Anderson 59.5 points. The winner, Shaun Anderson.
So there we go, 3-point margin.
And your appreciation, please. Donnie Hood.
Al Hutchins scorecard. And I wonder if that will be the real last of Donnie Hood, or whether he'll give it one final try before he makes a final decision. Well, Shaun, well done. You've got a little bit of damage under your right eye. You got a 3-point margin, but it was obviously harder than it looked.
Yeah, it was a hard fight. I mean, my first fight back for a while, I got a broken nose against Spencer Oliver. Had to come back, you know. Same as Donnie, long layoff, so both is a bit rusty.
Were you surprised to be facing him again?
Aye, I thought the last time that would do him, but hopefully this time that'll be him retired, you know.
Now listen, I think it's fair to say that, you know, the last couple of years maybe haven't gone your way. You needed this win tonight.
That's right, yeah. It's hard, you know, going down to England, fighting the top boys in super bantamweights. I'm on a bantamweight, so hopefully I can get a few shots, win a couple of fights as a bantamweight, and then nominate for the British title, hopefully.
Well, you've shown you can do it. I mean, that marvellous performance you put up against Johnny Armour, so you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, he's previously a really good champion, European and Commonwealth, so hopefully if Drew Docherty wins world title, I crack for the vacant British, or even to defend against me.